What is up, YouTube? It is Mike here at Mike in the Game, and we are back with you for another video. Now, I know I've been MIA a little bit, had a lot of different projects going on with men's basketball and a couple other side projects, but we are here with you today. Now, if you don't know, I do have a TikTok. It'll be in the description or posted right here below. Mike in the Game, same as my YouTube, so be sure to check that out. I do quick reactions as well as keep updates on what things are going on within the NFL and college football. Now, judging by the title, I'm sure you know we're going to be talking about the free agencies that have been taking place and trades throughout this off season leading up to this year's 2024 NFL draft. Now, I'm sure most of you know by now the draft is in Detroit, Michigan. So if you're in the Detroit area or you're a Detroit native, be sure to get out there, check it out, have a good time, and just overall just have a good experience. Now, without further ado, let's get into this madness. This year's free agency has been on edge ever since the very first day. So we'll go ahead and start with the Pittsburgh Steelers, who stole the show within the first couple of days of this time period. So the Pittsburgh Steelers were able to pick up Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Now, personally, I feel like this is a win-win for both the Pittsburgh Steelers and both of these athletes. Russ gets another opportunity to, redeem himself, show that he can still play, he still knows what to do, and it's good for Justin Fields as well because he gets to sit back, really hone his craft, really, figure things out, work to get better and better each day, kind of like to have like a Jordan Love type of situation, which can benefit him if things, go south for us. Now, in the Pittsburgh Steelers aspect, this is good because they have two quarterbacks they can play off of. One that if he shines, we can keep him, we can keep progressing. But if the first one doesn't work out, then we have a backup who showed promising signs, great athletic ability, a lot of promising things going for him that you can rely on as well. So both of these situations are a win-win for both of them. Now, Steelers were also able to pick up Patrick McQueen from the Baltimore Ravens, so that's another addition. But they did lose Kenny Pickett to the Philadelphia Eagles, which isn't really a bad thing because they did add two bonuses to this team. Now, since we're already on the topic of the Philadelphia Eagles, they stole the show as well, keeping everything up really high for this year's off-season free agency trade time period. They picked up Saquon Barkley, which is I can't even get it out. That's how crazy it is. It is crazy that they were able to get him because they needed another person to fill that running back void because DeAndre Swift went to the Chicago Bears. So they needed somebody else to fill that void. Now, this is great because he can catch out of the backfield. We already know Saquon has incredible athletic ability. He's a great running back. So this is a big win for the Philadelphia Eagles. This is also great because it also helps the dynamic of this run offense because you got somebody else that can tag with Jalen Hurts, and then this offense really comes together because you got a four horsemen within this offense: AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, Jalen Hurts, and Saquon. This offense is definitely going to be dynamic, so stay tuned. Now, they were able to add somebody else on defense, Devin White. Now, I like Devin White. He's a very good linebacker, very explosive, very keen. I like him a lot. This is very good, and it can really help, the Eagles with a lot of issues they may have seen toward the end of the last season. Now, transitioning to the New York Jets. Now, we know the Jets had a lot of injuries. They had a lot of things going on for them last season. It was ultimately kind of sad to see because we expected so much from this team. But they did give Aaron Rodgers some help. They got him Tyron Smith. Now, it's going to be big to see if Tyron Smith can finish a full season. I love him because he's a great left tackle, but we got to see if he can finish a full season and be healthy. Then on top of that, they added another dynamic defensive player. They were able to pick up Hassan Reddick. This is I think within the last 2 weeks, they were able to get Hassan Reddick. So that defense is still going to be scary. So if you're in the AFC, stay tuned because they were already good as it is last year. But adding another defensive edge rusher to this team this year is definitely going to be scary. Now we're going to talk about another heavy hitter, big name, shaking up this year's free agency. King Henry has made his way to the Baltimore Ravens. Now, this is something I think a lot of us love to see. Now, I know a lot of people speculate he was going to go to the Dallas Cowboys, but he's on the Baltimore Ravens now. Now, this is spectacular when it comes to an addition to an offense because they were already good at running the ball. This offense was able to do some spectacular things within the run scheme, pulling the guards, pulling the tackles, quarterback counters. I mean, you can name it, the list kind of goes on. Now you add a heavy hitter like Derrick Henry, this is really going to be on point for this offense, and it's gonna be electric to see. Everybody knows we already love Lamar. He's been Lamarkable, as many people say, but adding Derrick Henry to this offense too is just gonna take it up another notch. Now, this one is just recently, and the reason why I've really held off from making this video because I know something else is gonna pop up, something else is gonna spurt up in any given time. Now, I know many of you have seen Stephon Diggs is on the Houston Texans. Now, if you see me root for the Texans, mind your business. Mind your business, because the Texans are headed in a right direction. They are continuously trending upward, especially continuing off of last season, which was a great first year season for CJ Stroud and DeMeco Ryans, the head coach. This is a team that is really building upon things. Now, they were also able to get Joe Mixon. He's coming over from the Cincinnati Bengals, and they re-signed Dalton Schultz. So they have the pieces for this team. Now, we really need to keep an eye on them within the AFC South this upcoming season. Now, let's get into the Cowboys. Now, I know I get on the Cowboys a lot because I have friends who are Cowboys fans. It's kind of funny to troll them at any given point in time. I'm not exactly sure what they're doing going forward because they've lost several players. You know, we just mentioned Tyron Smith, Michael Gallup got released, Leighton Vander Esch retired, which I can understand because given his injuries each and every year, it's kind of scary almost. And then Tony Pollard going to the Titans, it's just kind of wondering like, there's another team in the state of Texas that is making moves. Are you guys gonna make the move? So, you know, Cowboys fans, buckle up a little bit, you know, stay strapped because it's looking a little shaky as to who your RB1 is going to be, who your other wide receivers are going to be. So, you know, we're all going to stay tuned. We're all going to stay tuned, but we got to be like, you know, locked in for this. Now, we got to take it down to the dirty South, Atlanta, Georgia. Now, they were able to get Kirk Cousins. Personally, and I mean personally when I say this, I don't think it's a bad decision. Now, I know they wanted, you know, a dual threat quarterback. They wanted Justin Fields, but this is not the end all be all decision. Kirk Cousins is still a good quarterback. He still has a good completion rating. He had Jay Jettas. Even when Jay Jettas was out, he was still doing good before he even got hurt last season. So Kirk Cousins isn't the worst decision. He's not even necessarily a bad decision. So just stay tuned. Give the man a chance. Give him a chance because he deserves a lot of credit where credit is due. He is a decent, good quarterback. He is good. We got to give him credit. Now, you add him with a couple other weapons. You know, they got the dynamic man, Bijan Robinson, making plays in the backfield, and Drake London, Kyle Pitts as well. So stay tuned because you never really know. You got to give them a chance a little bit, Falcons fans. Give them a chance. They did add Rondale Moore to this offense as well. So at least give them a chance. I know you don't want to get your expectations blown out of the water, but give them a chance. Now, I can't leave them out. Last but not least, I know I forgot him, but Darnell Mooney came over from the Chicago Bears. They do have a wide receiver core. We can't leave that out. They have a wide receiver core. There are weapons on this team. So, like I just said a second ago, Falcons fans, please give them a chance before you start checking out. Now, I know the Kansas City Chiefs, you know, they make something shake every year, despite if it's free agency or it's in the regular season and it's just Travis Kelce, then somebody else spurts up and we just, oh, who's this guy? And he's making plays too. But they were able to get Hollywood Brown all the way from the Arizona Cardinals. This is good. Another weapon to go with Travis Kelce, a guy that can really fly down the field, quick with his feet. He's quick overall. This is a good addition when you're trying to continue a trend with the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chicago Bears are making moves as well. We're not going to forget about them one bit. They did get DeAndre Swift from the Philadelphia Eagles from last season and Keenan Allen from the Los Angeles Chargers. So they're making progressions. We all know at the end of the day, they're getting Caleb Williams as their first round draft pick. At this point, we all know. But the biggest thing is we're going to need to see is what they're going to be able to do in that first year, because they got rid of Justin Fields and many people thought they would keep them. So we'll definitely see how this turns out. And heading over to the NFC East, we're gonna talk about the Washington Commanders. Now, they did pick up Austin Ekeler, which I think is a big pickup for them. They need somebody else in that running back room since they let go of Antonio Gibson, who left to go to the New England Patriots. So this is good. He can catch out of the backfield, and he's pretty dynamic with his legs as well. They did also pick up Bobby Wagner. Now, this is another good thing because you have a veteran linebacker in that locker room and in that linebacker core. And the biggest question mark is going to be the quarterback spot. Sam Howell is on the Seattle Seahawks now, and they picked up Marcus Mariota. Now, we already know the story of Marcus. He was a starter, backup, starter, backup. It's kind of like a recurring trend now. So we're just ultimately gonna need to see it on film, you know, with our eyes on screen, that he can make the plays and still get it done. And last but not least, we'll close it out with the Tennessee Titans. We spoke about them a little bit earlier when it came to Tony Pollard. He is a new addition to this team, but they did pick up Calvin Ridley from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, this is a pretty sneaky team you may want to keep your eyes on, because they got Calvin Ridley, Tony Pollard, D-Hop. They just got to make sure the quarterback spot can be solidified and Will Levis can get it done. That is the biggest thing, because this offense is not too bad. It's really not too bad. But that is going to conclude our recaps of this free agency, the trades that have gone throughout this whole process leading up to the NFL draft. Let me know down in the comments which one is your favorite from this time period. What do you think about some of the trades? What do you think about some of the free agent pickups? And what you think is going to happen in this year's 2024 NFL draft? I will catch y'all in the next one.